What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again. We're here for another episode of Lights, Camera, Comic Concepts, Keco Collects, Friday, October 6th, 5:15 p.m. Eastern. We started right on 5:15 the dot. Guys, Keco knows better than anyone. Sometimes we're a couple minutes late. This time, Josh arrived on time because last time Josh was here, he was like 30 minutes late or something. So Keco and I had to carry Josh because he was too busy, I think, looking at anime statues or something.
It's true. It's not easy being garbage.
It's not at all, bro. And now I got to meet Josh. Guys, I'm telling you, I told Keco, Josh is just as fucking crazy in person as he is online, dude. It's not a stick. It's not a shtick, rather. It's literally, that's just how Josh is. But guys, thank you so much for joining. We got an exciting show for you. We're going to address the chat as much as we can. But before we do that, let's address this amazing Avengers level panel. That said, Mr. Keco Collects, bro, you're looking ultra professional tonight. Are you going out to dinner perhaps later after this?
You nailed it, buddy. We have actually been, we are in the final countdown. We are less than 30 days until our cruise that we're headed out with the family and all that. Yeah. So that literally, I take you to the airport and then I head to the airport to go down to Florida to get on the boat. So that's how close our time is. But yeah, we're down to the final moment. So we're being very careful and planning out our meals, planning out our date nights and all those things to where there's no fuck ups when it comes to, you know, we're trying to trim down, you know, because we're going to be on the beach and all that stuff. So we're doing the best we can to look the best we can. So all that to say is that we had scheduled today to be the date night for our week. And so Amy's finishing up at work. She'll come home, feed Drago, which I'm sure he'll let everyone know that he's home. And yeah, we'll be going out to dinner tonight. But it's so weird, Will, when you have a week off. And I'm glad you got some time to yourself, but like I feel like I've not been on the show in like 4 months, but it's only been 2 weeks, but here we are.
Yeah, it feels well. Actually, I didn't have time to myself because I was hanging out with Josh the whole time. So I was with Josh. Josh was driving me around. He was like my little taxi cab dude. He didn't even charge me. So we went around. Yeah, like it was awesome.
Did he give you the aux though?
Dude, he didn't give me the aux. That was the one thing he didn't do, but he gave me a lot of other great things. Yeah, exactly. Dude, Josh, are you going to tell the people, or am I going to have to, that, or I guess I'll just do it. So Josh's girlfriend held my hand at Universal Studios, dude. The people need to know that. The people need to know. You know why, Keco? Because these fuckers tried to get me on roller coasters, and they knew that I didn't like roller coasters. I don't
really? Dude, audience. Foxy fans, he is scared of roller coasters.
Dude, I don't like them.
What kind of a leader is that? How can you follow that?
So you missed out on the Velocicoaster.
Subscribe to this channel.
Yeah, unsubscribe now.
You've been on the
Unsubscribe to support roller coasters.
Well, the Velocicoaster, what's that, Keco?
Josh, you've been on the Velocicoaster, right?
Yes, it's amazing.
It's one of the greatest roller coasters I've ever ridden.
Okay, but I'm not even much of a Harry Potter fan. Have you done the Hagrid one?
Of course, that one's equally a top. That's another top 5.
So cool.
They're both on Gringotts. I went on Green. Is that what it's called?
Cool.
Gringotts. It was Gringotts, right? That was
no. So there's 3 different Harry Potter rides now. There's Gringotts.
Yeah.
There's Escape from Gringotts. There's like where you're on the broom in Hogwarts. And then now there's
Hagrid's Wild Magical Ride,
ride, and we got fast passes for it. We got lucky.
Oh
yeah. So it was like a 10-minute wait or it was like a 20-minute wait for us, and people were on it for like 3 hours waiting.
Yeah, it's like the longest line I've ever. We do the fast pass stuff too. I don't mess around with that. Did
you do what was originally there? The Twin Dragons, right? It was like the whatever the cup is, but before that it was an Ice and Fire Dragon.
No.
So back in the day, it was an Ice and Fire Dragon. It was called Dueling Dragons, and you would race each track, and there would be a point where both coasters come up like this and do a loop, and then they stopped doing them side by side because someone's shoe came off and concussed a child or whatever.
That sounds awful. I will say,
hilarious.
The Gringotts ride on Harry Potter was great.
Yeah.
Cool. I really
but he was still scared of that. He was very scared.
I was fine. It was just
you're not like dangling feet, or what is it that you don't?
It was the drop in the beginning, bro. But I liked it. I thought it was cool, actually. But no,
I guess you don't do you don't do the Doctor Doom drop either.
No, I love Tower of Terror. I love Tower of Terror. That's really good.
There's no joy in that. I don't understand dropping.
Yeah, Tower of Terror was pretty fun. I like that. But like, I will say that, you know, it was really cool to go on the Harry Potter ride, especially since Josh had fast passes. I was like, this is great. But Josh's girlfriend, Sam, she even said, she was like, Will, I will hold your hand on this ride. And I never agreed to it. She just did it anyway. So she just took the lead and did it. And I was like, I'm fine. After the first like 10 seconds, I was like, I'm good. Then she said she was scared. So that's why she held my hand. But Josh was
Nobody
there.
held my hand. Nobody fucking did anything.
Josh, everyone just said,
if you ever do get the balls to go back to Hagrid's magical ride, spoiler or whatever, when it does fall through the ground.
When it drops, dude, dude, Will, it is a roller coaster that you end up hitting the end of a track and going backwards. And
dude,
you drop the entire coaster, not like we drop. I mean, the track disconnects and you plummet about 15 feet. I didn't know any of this. It was so cool.
And that's why they tell you not to tell the secrets of the ride, because that's something that you don't expect. And it's a fun.
God.
It makes it so much fun.
But you still wouldn't expect it. Even if I said it right now, you'd have no idea where.
Yeah.
You would have no clue. It was a great ride, except for the scorpion thing, which literally looks like it's like a dildo on the end of it. It was weird. I didn't like that it jiggled. Like, I understand they need like weatherproof like animatronic, but like it was just like
that's what the
I was like, oh.
All right, well, guys, I'm glad we got to talk about that, but I'm going to address the chat real quick before we get into the dildo conversation. So Connor is saying, how about them bagels? I know Keco is, you know, he's reeling a little bit. He's getting over it, so he'll be fine. But yeah, my fantasy team's like the Bengals, so it's all right. Anthony Javier is here, Dan was hoping to see Riley. Riley's with the ladies, bro. Riley is always doing some shit with the ladies. He's wearing his Clone Wars jacket or whatever the fuck he wears. And
I mean, I could leave. We could get Riley and I could leave.
Well, you're still a ladies man, Josh. You just have just one now, but Riley has many at this point. So, dude, I won't share that story that we talked about with Sam. That was hilarious, though. That was hilarious. Sam was like, "We're gonna talk later, Josh." Josh was like, "No,
we're gonna talk we aren't." Anytime I said something stupid, she'd be like, "We're gonna talk later." Like, no.
I was there to witness it all. I was the awkward third wheel the whole time.
No, it was great.
It was great, dude. It was so much fun. So Connor's here. Let's see. The movie canon is here. Natalie G is here, who I met in Florida. Natalie G is amazing. And Ty is watching. It sounds like
Where's Ty at?
Dude, hello, Ty, because Ty ate New England clam chowder when she was allergic, and it did not go well.
Ty almost died.
Yeah, Ty almost died,
chowder.
Yeah,
she's a hero.
Is that something that you find out about that you are allergic to? Or
no, she already knew.
She knew.
So you just like
she knew what she was going to do.
She knew.
We thought she was going to die.
We thought she wasn't going to make it.
I was like, I hope they have an EpiPen here.
Sorry, I hate to go back into it. Knowing that death is on the table, what was the stakes and why were we going forward?
There was no stake. It was bread and clam chowder.
Yeah, she just wanted the clam chowder. That was it.
Okay.
She just wanted chowder, even though she knew.
Yeah,
well, exactly. I want to drink and drive, but it's not a great idea.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't matter. The food is good.
It was really good.
Really good.
It was really good.
Anyway,
guys,
thank you. I've never seen such big chunks of clam in clam chowder.
Oh, she actually threw up?
No, she had to go walk around though.
She had to go walk around. She's okay. Like,
yeah, she's okay.
We were watching, as funny as it was to like laugh.
She's commenting here.
We were careful.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that was Natalie commenting, but there's Ty. There's Ty. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
not desperately allergic, just enough.
I'm not desperately allergic, just enough to be interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Just enough to be interesting. Girl was overheating like a solar flare.
She was the whole time. She was like, "Oh, dude," it was hilarious.
Is it like that part from Hitch where they take the seafood and
yes, it was exactly like that.
Pretty much.
Like,
nice.
She wasn't. I wasn't sure she was going to make it through the night, but she did. Yeah. So
thoughts and prayers. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, guys, we got to jump into our first topic. Sorry, I won't be able to address every comment, but I'll address them as we go if we have time. But I want to talk about a bunch of different things, particularly one that I know Josh is going to love. But I want to start with something. I want to start with something pretty interesting here because we got some news here. Originally, I was thinking this was going to be a 3-pack, but the more I sort of heard about it, this was apparently a 2-pack where you can make adjustments to it. But I want to share some of the photos because at WonderCon, Shanghai Wonderfest rather, that was something where InArt showed a bunch of new figures. One of them being this Arthur Fleck Joker, which apparently is going to be a limited edition release somewhere around the $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,300 range. We're not sure exactly. John has said pretty consistently that Warner Bros. Is very specific about the license for Joaquin Phoenix Joker. They want it to be high end. It's going to be somewhere around $1,000. They had to justify that by making it sort of a 2 to 3 pack. Problem being, are people going to commit to that? So Keco, I think InArt kind of had their hands tied here a little bit. They said, okay, we got to charge you $1,000. How do we do that and make sure you get a good enough value? So Keco, is this the correct strategy to have sort of like 2 to 3 Arthur Flex Jokers here? What do you think?
I don't see how it would not be. I mean, let's say it is 1,200 even. I mean, that's still right around the ballpark of what you're paying per figure anyway. Now, I told you that that version, you know, when he's in the hospital and he's like with the kids' hospital and all that stuff, I do not care anything about this one. I don't like that. I know there's a version, like a third-party version called the Humorist or something like that. Not interested in that. That is not a vital moment in the film. However, well, I guess technically that's when he loses his job.
It was a very vital moment.
But it's the moment after this, which leads to the bathroom scene, which I think is the standout. If you can go ahead and put that up here, that is, I think, the absolute best picture I've seen. And I was super skeptical when they showed like the tease. It showed obviously this one, you knew that because it had the green hair on it. It showed the main look, but this one is so good in a beautiful yet tragic kind of way. Like I'm not interested in, you know, the lab coat, anything like, but this one is so beautiful. And I love that the hair is in the face, you know, it's the scene where he officially transcends and starts to become this iconic character. You know, the bathroom scene, even the music, just I'm
trying to remember, Keco, was it after he had just killed the guys on the train?
Correct.
That's
so because if you remember
about it,
he drops the gun in the hospital, he gets fired, he then goes onto the train, he sees the girl getting, you know, attacked or whatever, and then he stops laughing because he's scared. That's what he reacts to, and then he just goes ham on the people. And when he chases that one final guy down and shoots him at the base of the stairs, he then runs up the stairs and goes to the bathroom to think about what he's doing, and he's like, I like this, and this is the moment. And I love this. Like, yeah, the red suit is cool and the Murray thing is cool. That's fine. But this one was something I wasn't expecting and wasn't even interested in until I saw it. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, going back to the price, if you get 2 bodies and 3 sculpts or whatever, $1,200, $1,300 for a premium line thing, I don't think so. That's being bad at all. I mean, look at that sweet display. That, you know, diorama, that's better, I think, than the Joker jail cell by leaps and bounds. It's just so cool and encompasses everything about the film. That is the titular moment in the film where, you know, you get what you fucking deserve, and that's awesome. And I wish if they're going to add a little thing, I would love to possibly have the makeup booth, you know, where I think that'd be a cool one from the very beginning of him putting on the makeup and just that little thing, put a smile on your face. I think that'd be kind of cool. But I don't see any issue with the price on this. And if we can figure out a way to actually obtain it, not trying to be that guy or whatever, but the price doesn't make an issue for me. It's the availability to actually secure it. If it's going to be like a numbered release to where I can't get it and it's lock it behind a paywall, that's fine. I'll pay whatever it takes. I just don't want the ridiculous.
That's what they want to hear. They want to hear that you have absolutely no responsibility.
That's fine. And that is fine. And most people that know me,
that's how they set their prices.
But I don't want to get stuck in there's, you know, it's going to be a lottery system. Good luck. I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think it's going to be that, Keco, but we don't know the edition size yet. So it's hard to say. It could be 500, it could be 3,000, right? We really don't know. They said it's going to be limited. I'm assuming they're going to want to sell, obviously, as many of these as humanly possible. So I don't think they're going to make it like 300 or 500. I think they might make it like 3,000 to 5,000. So you're probably going to have like, I would assume like 24 hours to probably get this, right?
You're going to have plenty of time.
Yeah, I think you're going to be fine. But Josh, what do you think? I mean, we don't know price yet. We don't know edition size, all speculation. But what are you thinking about the early images and what this could be?
So we were just talking about, like, you know, how I don't actually collect much Marvel in DC. But I will say this Joker is one of my favorite renditions of, I don't want to say a villain, because he's not necessarily a villain.
He is literally the hero at the end of it. You know, he's
like the anti-hero, right? Like, I don't know how else to word it.
I love this Wayne is the bad guy.
And this was a film, when it was being made, I wanted to shit on it so bad.
Same.
Heath Ledger. I was like, Heath Ledger Joker. And then this came out, and it was a beautiful film. Very well done. I'm not looking forward to part 2.
But I am. The people that are
really
shitting on part, because I was in the same boat saying, nope, no one's taking the Ledger crown from me. And you can't take Ledger's crown because
dude, I don't want a musical with Lady Gaga. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm a little worried.
Down.
No. You say that. I was literally watching yesterday. I think. Here's your hot take.
I'm not shitting on their talent. That's not what I'm saying here.
I think Gaga is such a transcendent talent. We're talking about all these transcendent terms.
She's very talented, but I don't want to see a singing Harley Quinn.
That's fine. Yes, she does. Yeah, you will. And we're going to live stream our reactions after the film because we're going to go opening night. We're going to make this happen.
Let's do it.
I can't wait. And I think chapter 2 is going to be just as good.
But going back to the question, because I have a very good skill of just completely avoiding the goddamn question, going on a different track.
Even in person, you do that.
Even in person, it's called ADHD, unmedicated ADHD. I actually have a statue. I have the Blitzway Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. It is easily. I don't know why it got so much hate. I friggin' love the piece. It is gorgeous. It comes with all the props. It has different swap out hands and you can put the props in the hands. I thought it was easily one of the best done pieces. And for me, I'm satisfied with that. I'm not a figure collector, right? But you can get a lot of different scenes out of this. Now, $1,300 is a lot to me for any 6-scale figure. I don't care if it's a 2-pack because the statue that I got that was extremely well done and highly detailed was $1,300. With a special edition, now it's on clearance in some places for $1,100, and that's a 3rd scale polystone and polyresin sculpted statue with props. So I look at this, and it's licensed everywhere. So this is a piece I don't understand why it's so expensive when it's only licensed for China, because royalties for Marvel and DC and stuff are around 20%. Yeah, there you go. So it was normally, they upcharge with the shipping, but it's normally $1,400 to $1,500 plus shipping. And, oh no, that's the Queen Studios.
Yeah, Queen Studios, yeah.
Oh, well, go look at the Blitzway one. Have you seen it?
Oh, I think so. Let me see.
Yeah, dude, go look at that. And it actually came out exactly like the prototype.
Oh, this one, yeah.
It's on sale for $1,000, dude.
I had it at one point.
I love this piece. I friggin' love this piece. I still have it. And for me, I don't really understand the $1,300, $1,400 price point outside of gouging and trying to match what is licensed pieces cost, because this isn't custom. This is going to be mass produced. So if you want to spend a shit ton of money, that's fine. I'm not shitting on the 2-pack at all. I love this. I absolutely love this, actually. I could see if it was a 3-pack, it being $1,200, $1,300, but it's not. This is correct.
I mean, that's at least what we're thinking right now. We don't have official word.
If it's $1,200 to $1,300, it's a 3-pack. Totally understandable.
It might be.
If it's a 2-pack, I'm sorry. They are making hand over fist on you. So, and again, I'm not shitting on the product. It looks great, but it doesn't make the price doesn't make sense to me.
I'm wondering though, Josh, why, for example, because we've all been consistent about this. I
love this one, by the way.
Why did they choose to do this one instead of just regular Arthur Fleck? I think that would have made more sense to me.
Because you want, it's kind of like, how I collect original production art. Right. I want the process, be able to display it in one thing. And with this, if anything, they should have made a 4-pack with Arthur Fleck. So the process of him transforming and going down this depressive rabbit hole into insanity and madness. Right. I think that would have been absolutely sick. But I think then it's pushing a lot of cost. Then again, I mean, $1,600 for 4 pieces, I would do that.
Right. But that's a lot of display space. You're a lot of display space you're dedicating to one character.
You are, but that's a good question why they didn't. I actually like the clown, the hospital, jokey clown.
Right.
Because that was the beginning of the end. That's where he got his persona from. But I kind of I wouldn't have done the bathroom scene. I would have rather had a regular Arthur Fleck, believe it or not.
I think a lot of people, myself, I don't know if I want to display just a bum in a coat sitting there looking sad. I understand who he is or whatever, but going back to that shelf presence or whatever, if someone walks in, they've never seen the movie, hey, who's that guy that looks sad just wearing dirty clothes? I don't know. I guess
I almost would rather that over this clown version though, because it's kind of redundant, because you kind of have the bathroom scene and then you have the regular.
I feel like the bathroom scene one is redundant, but actually it's not. No one's done it. but you can't just not make the final like suit Joker either.
Because that's the problem. Because Keco, you have a really good opinion of, and Josh, you too, about the bathroom scene. But primarily, what most collectors are going to want, they want the red suit. That's what they want. Like that's the breadwinner, or the one thing that everyone wants, right? Like when you talk about the Joker 2-pack for Heath Ledger, the jail cell one is cool. People like it, but people want the purple coat version.
What I don't understand is how did they get the licensing for this in China, but Hot Toys has not been able to?
I think maybe Hot Toys just assumed it wasn't worth it. Maybe.
I don't think so. That's definitely not it.
Well, they're not allowed to
Kamen Rider or whatever.
But what if it's Keco? Sorry, what were you going to say? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, going back to some of their weapon type debacles that they mandates and stuff. Maybe they didn't want to have to deal with that, especially this being an R-rated film.
Well, maybe too, because InArt said they've been pretty consistent, Warner Bros, that it needs to be high end. So maybe like Hot Toys was like, well, we don't want to make a $600 Joker. You know, maybe
the Justice League figures are high end. I can tell you that.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it could be that they've have a line of pieces they've already dedicated to from a licensing standpoint that they're waiting, because prototype approval is a long process. I mean, I know in anime statues, like you'll have a prototype for a year or two before you can even release it. Like you don't just get to release these pieces when the movie comes out. The first time I've ever seen any of this is with Star Wars and Marvel, where they're releasing figures before the actual TV show or movie is even out. And that's brand new after COVID. That must have to do with like streaming services and licensing. Yeah, but
the comments I'm seeing, I mean, I know John has said this, like Daniel mentioned, needs to be 1K. I've heard that thrown around a lot. 160.
What?
Supposedly that's what Warner Bros said. Warner Bros apparently, according to John from Queen, they're saying like it needs to be $1,000, needs to be high end. So maybe Hot Toys was like,
then how are they making money?
Right? I don't know.
That doesn't make that literally. I'm not saying he's a liar, but like that doesn't make sense. You wouldn't produce a figure at a loss then.
Right. No, I don't think they're taking a loss. That's why they made it like a 3-pack probably, or a 2-pack.
Then it's not $1,000. I don't know.
No.
And he wouldn't even be able to,
I think it'll be like
even be allowed to disclose that in the first place.
I think it'll probably be like $1,300 to $1,400, I would assume. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty high. And I think some people are going to get sticker shocked by it for sure. But the thing that's interesting is if it has to be that high, I get it. Their hands are kind of tied, but it's almost like for most collectors, you're probably having to buy things you don't want to get what you really want. Most people want this red suit.
It still doesn't make sense. You're not going to have $1,000 license in China on a figure set that isn't licensed to the rest of the world. That doesn't make sense to me at all.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not there, so
yeah.
From a business standpoint, to me, that's a bad move on Warner Brothers' part. But
the price, as I've said before in closing, the price means nothing to me. I want to be able to actually.
You need to stop saying that publicly.
I don't care. I don't care. I do not care.
InArt's going to be like, "Fuck you, dude."
They're going to be like, "Fucking Keco."
If that means that I actually obtain it, that's fine. Like I said, it's the lottery and me getting and we'll talk more about lotteries and queues and stuff later on, but I don't like having the opportunity taken out of my hand. I don't like leaving things to chance. That's why I don't gamble.
You should stop collecting then.
No, that makes it fun. I want to chase. I'm fine.
Keco loves the chase, bro. It's all about the chase.
That is a chase. Just because you missed the lotto doesn't mean you've lost. And you said dollar value's no issue to you, so go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could.
I'll find one for you.
I bet you will. I bet
It'll be like $5,000, but
Josh will do it, bro. I'll get it done.
I'll do it, man.
But my other caveat is that when I know what it cost and I could have obtained, that's the part where it bothers me. Same thing, hey, you know, this retails for $350. I'll sell it to you for $700. Well, I could have got it for $350, but you know you're getting it with me for $700. Nah, I'll take my chance. And so then when I lose out on that chance, that's what makes me mad.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's a personal issue.
I know. It's an issue I struggle with for sure.
I just bought the friggin' Pokemon skateboards. They were $110 and I had to buy them for $250 each, but now they're worth $500 each. We just had this debate. I'm gonna open them. I'm gonna go for the golds because they'll sell for like $5 to $10 grand.
Bro. Go with the fucking gold.
I have 10 skate decks, blind bags. I'm scared.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to move on to our next topic, and we'll transition back to InArt. But for now, I want to transition to something Keco is going to be really excited about, and that is the Hot Toys Artisan Wanda. But I have a question I think that will lead into what happened with the drop, which overall, Keco, I would say it went pretty well. I mean, I don't. Some people got kicked out here and there overall, but I think overall, a lot of people did end up securing the bag and getting this Artisan Wanda that they wanted. Some people missed out, unfortunately, but that's always how it's going to be with these Artisan drops. They're limited. That's just how it is, right? Oh, hello, Sam. Sam probably can't hear me, but yeah. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Dude, isn't she amazing? Look at this.
What is that?
Macaroni, baked potato, and fried chicken.
I didn't even know Sam
Wait, you're
cooked for you,
eating
bro.
in the middle of this?
I'm hungry.
Well, so am I. I'm delaying my dinner for
Oh,
Fucking
daylight
priorities.
is my lighting.
Josh is unprofessional, bro. You should know this about him. It's fine. Like it is who he is.
Well,
But
some people take this serious.
I
If
don't
you're
know if
not
Sam-
nice, I'm gonna turn this into an ASMR stream.
I don't know if Sam can hear me, but Sam, I told everyone that you held my hand, and Josh was fine with it. So
I did.
Ty's in the chat.
I can.
Ty says hi.
Hi.
See?
Yes, I did. I felt so bad during that ride. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Will might not be no more, so I'm gonna hold his hand. So
Yeah, it was very appreciated. I promise you, very appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah, but nonetheless, guys. So Wanda, we're gonna talk about this artisan figure. So Keco, I got to start with you, bro. I know we've kind of addressed this question a little bit before, but I kind of want to tie back into it with this Wanda thing because look, there's the prototype photos that we saw, right? And I also want to share another photo that had popped up on Facebook that Hot Toys was sharing around that I think honestly portrays the figure in just a really positive light overall. But you know, we're all going after these artisan figures thinking, oh, they're absolutely going to nail this. Keco, I know in your case, you bought the sculpted and the artisan version. So are we assuming too much here? And do you think the sculpted version could end up being the superior option here?
It certainly could, which is why I didn't want to take a chance on it. We don't have anything in hand to compare it to. And I know so many people, I know Daniel's in here, so many people want the, Batmans to release. I know that's not necessarily talking about, one for one, but they want to have the Batmans release so they can officially compare InArt to Hot Toys and say, okay, here's an offering. How did they do? That type of thing. So we don't have even that yet. All we have is literally a new Wonder Woman, which is not an artisan. And we have like 1.5 releases from InArt. And that's it. That's what we're looking at. So it's kind of no one has a track record at this point. We all saw what happened to my Joker, and it took some futzing to get situated. Everyone saw, initially how your styling of the hair and the beard was with Gandalf. People didn't like that. And
I got some flack about that.
You did. And so no matter what, people are going to complain about how it's displayed. Now you're looking at this. This is not a product photo. This is a display photo. And I would say looks pretty damn good, but I don't know how it's going to be packaged. Well, we know how it's going to be packaged in the little head boxes, but
I hope so.
We don't know what it's going to turn out like. No one's got one in hand. We're a year at least from any of these artisan figures. So it's all speculation at this point. So what I wanted to make sure is that for a character that means so much to me like this, I was not going to get this in hand and be like, oh no, look how terrible this is. I wish I had the sculpt. I'll have them both and I can make that decision from there. I'm hoping that it's going to be, but outside of just thoughts and prayers, you don't got nothing. There is nothing to hold it to, and you're just hoping. And so we're probably going to have this conversation, honestly, for the next 18 months about, okay, so it looks like they released their first artisan figure, and it's going to take a little while to get their legs. Can we expect them to continue this type of quality, or these are the topping points? 18 months from now, it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous, but I'm hopeful because you see something like this, it looks okay. Now, when they showed the Sideshow Con and they showed Artisan Anakin beforehand, I'm like, whoa, that is not going to be good. And we don't know. There may be all these people that got all these artisan Anakins that are like, fuck, this sucks. Where's the sculpted? We don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
We don't, bro. We don't, because again, Hot Toys track record.
It's a Hot Toys exclusive.
So
I mean, it'll be a Toy Fair exclusive in a year.
But the quality, Josh, are we sure this is going to be a banger? Like we're thinking?
Dude, I'm not a rooted hair figure. I don't know why people go nuts for it.
Well, because it looks more lifelike, bro. That's why. When done well. Yes.
Does it?
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm looking at this Pennywise and this Gandalf, bro.
I can confirm that InArt Joker rooted looks a million times better than the sculpt.
Okay.
It just does.
I don't have it in hand, so I can't say.
Well,
like for
certain
me,
certain hairstyles for certain characters, yes. If it's a shorter hairstyle, then not as much. But yeah, sorry, Josh, go ahead.
I just don't care for rooted hair. Like I get it looks realistic, but I get the same joy out of the piece, regardless of. This is why you don't eat during a stream.
See, Keco knows better. Keco knows.
Regardless of, if it's rooted hair or not. And we discussed this, are you going to get the same emotional value out of it with rooted hair versus sculpted at the end of the day, because like I would much rather save the money. It's kind of like what's going on with Prime 1 with bonus editions, right? For me, I don't need Joel's axe for $200.
I do.
I'd rather save $200 than have a swap out axe. I'm definitely going to be using the pipe.
Right.
So I don't think it's bad at all. I think the artisan line's really cool. It's just, I feel like it's a lot more hype than it is actual value. Because I'll tell you right now, like,
it's $100 difference here between.
I'm sorry,
about $100.
$100 difference, and I feel like that's worth it.
And that's fine, but I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm saying I think people are going absolutely apeshit over rooted hair just for the sake of the tag saying it's exclusive.
100%
could be
and at the end of the day, people are going to get both, and they're going to get the same joy out of both. Same exact value and level of joy.
I don't know. I get joy knowing I have something someone doesn't. So.
Except for
Keco
Keco.
does love that.
Keco's an outlier.
Doesn't care about price, and he likes the exclusive shit. Yeah, Keco's, he's a special type of collector.
But we're not allowed to have lottery, though.
Correct. I want a chance.
It has to be exclusive, but not too exclusive.
Keco nailed the lottery this time. I don't know how many tabs you had.
You got it?
Keco.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
I had 6 tabs. I had 6 tabs. Basically 3 devices: 1 Firefox, 1 Safari, 1 Chrome. No, that's 9.
Isn't it based on IP?
No,
I thought it was too. It's not.
Nope. Josh, I can open, like Keco has 2. I open a Google Chrome and a Firefox, and it gives me 2 different places in line.
Correct. And I took the lower of them. I kept them open until I was in. So I kept all 9 open until I was in.
Well, Josh, the community loves Keco so much that even if he didn't secure Wanda, someone would
get him. See, I don't know that love.
Dude, well, that's because you're a retailer, bro. It's
different. I have to be realistic. I don't get love.
Well, you don't even want 6 scale figures, so it doesn't even matter. But even
I don't get love either. You can
I still have
comments on some of my videos.
I still have my Deadpool and Iron Man.
You have 2 6 scale figures?
I do.
Wow.
Remember my Randy's donut?
Really?
Iron Man sits in the Randy's donut I had made.
Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, I'm impressed nonetheless. But Josh, I mean, with this, what are you thinking? I mean, are you thinking the sculpted is going to be better? Is this artisan line? It's working? It's generating hype for Hot Toys. What do you think?
I think it's super cool, but I feel like when these actually release, I don't know how many they're making, right? Like, and we also don't know if it's a tactic because just because it says waitlist, we had a discussion on this before about waitlist manipulation.
Right.
This is different. They're claiming within the first 10 minutes that these are selling out. They can absolutely manipulate the waitlist and cause conversions.
Right.
And if I were a retailer, I would be smart about it and just do one fat waitlist in 6 months and call it a day. And have nothing else add to cart, right when they actually start production. And I think that's what's going to happen with these. Because
I hope so, because I'm on the wait list for Artisan Anakin.
Again, in the end, this is business. These figures are not being made by collectors in passion. These are businesses, okay? That's the reality no one thinks about. They wouldn't just release this knowing that there was this much hype and then not make more after 10 minutes, especially when there's no edition size. Again, if there was an edition size, I would believe it.
I think there is for this one. It's 2,500.
Yeah, 2,500.
Are they numbered?
They're not numbered. That we don't know that yet.
Then there's not an edition size.
I know that, but still, I mean.
Well, because you never know, Keco. Josh has raised that point. It is valid. You don't have any way of knowing.
There's no certification saying that this is X out of 2,500.
It might be under the base.
They're counting.
Because my bases have the edition numbers.
The bases do,
sure,
but not this figure. They're not in the factory going, all right, we've made 2,500 head sculpts. Now we got to make 2,500 bodies.
Well, they need to pop that bitch off and put it under the chin or something. That way we know.
They're not going to. Yeah, so when I see something and they say it's numbered, and then it's not numbered, that's like getting a signature. That's like buying a signed piece of memorabilia with no certification on it. It is absolutely worthless without a certification.
Because you're just taking the company's word. Yeah.
You're just taking word. And I'm sorry, I am a collector. I want to know there is value in my number. Simple as that.
Right.
If there is no proof of that, and you can't prove that there are 2,500 in some other way,
Well,
like holding
even all the things you're talking about. It's not like all right, everyone come to the warehouse. Here's 2,500 of them. Come and get yours.
You're talking about statues?
Just everything in general. Yeah, you're
but
never
you do
know that.
Yes, because there's numbers on them. So if it
I
ever got
that.
out, no, it's true. Because we have to destroy pieces that are broken. If it ever got out that there were two of the same number on the market, it would ruin a company's reputation. It would absolutely annihilate them.
Why wouldn't they just do the same thing then?
Who?
Hot Toys, for example, like for these.
I don't know. That's why it's very confusing to me.
Well, it could just be they want to make more and just not.
It could be that they want to make more and not say anything.
Right. Right.
Because there's no way to verify that 2,500 have been made.
You're saying they're not it's not worth the risk for them to go into the certification of said number because, as you said, if they end up getting out that they're two numbers that they're the same, then that's the end of it, right?
No. What I'm saying is if you're going to claim something is limited to X amount, I don't believe a single bit of that unless there is some kind of certification somewhere saying that.
Right. We're on the same page then.
Right.
Yeah. So the statues, they're numbered. And even when we report damages, we have to report the number, the edition number, and we have to show the box with the edition number as well as the bottom of the base. It is very, very focused. And the other reason we have edition numbers is so you can track what retailer ordered what. It's literally almost like inventory count. Like it's more than just an edition number. When I see something and they say it's worth this, oh, it's out of this. Well, there better be fucking certification. Otherwise, it's not.
Right. Right. Because, you don't have any way of knowing, really.
You have no way of knowing. I think they're saying it's 2,500. And I'm not trying to slander them either. It very well may be true. But how are they verifying that? How are even they verifying 2,500 figures?
Well, we don't have an artisan figure in hand yet. Maybe they will number.
Yeah, we have no idea.
If they number it, awesome. If they don't, to me as a collector.
For the next 18 months, we will continue to have these conversations because we just don't
wait for the next artisan drop, bro. We'll bring it up again. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
No, it's
I'm
great.
just gonna eat now,
dude. It does. It does. I wish I could taste it, but I'm not.
Do you hear that? What did she make you there?
I'm gonna fly to Georgia. So yeah,
I told you. Fried chicken.
Yeah.
Loaded baked potato, macaroni, and veggies.
I can smell. I can't smell. I can't smell anything. I can hear the macaroni smacking the.
Dude, that's how you know it's good.
Sounds lit.
How you know it's good.
So good. It's so good, guys. We should all have this together. Everyone in chat.
I'll fly to Georgia to
you don't need to fly here. Stay away from my food. Make it yourself.
Dude, no. Sam will make me some, bro. We held hands. We had a connection, so it's fine. She'll make me food. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. Guys, we got to talk about some other more InArt shit. And because this is something too that I don't know if Josh is really going to care about this, but he's going to give his opinion like he always does. And Keco is going to care though, because InArt, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, I forget all her fucking titles to be honest, but there's a lot of them. Like she has a lot of titles. She has more titles than like someone who's been promoted within a company a bunch of times. Like Daenerys has been shown. And this is I think it's season 8 with the winter coat when she's going to Winterfell, stuff like that. And the internet was a little maybe disappointed with this one just because it's right now, it's half sculpted, half rooted. The tailoring maybe could use a little bit of work. Again, everyone's always going to say it's futzing. That's one thing I've learned about doing reviews. Like, oh, you could have futzed better. You could have done this. Like it's something everyone's real particular about their futzing and everyone can do it in the way they want, which is why in the Pennywise review, I said, futz the neck, futz the collar, how you like it. If you don't like what you see here, you can adjust it. Same with Danny, right? It'll be no different. But Keco, do we trust InArt to make improvements on this Daenerys Targaryen figure? They did with Aragorn. They did with Pennywise, I believe, and with Aragorn, with Gandalf rather too. And they made some improvements here and there, I think, on Joker as well. But this one needs a little bit of work. Keco, what do you think?
Well, I think that Shady needs a lot of work because he's saying nobody wants Game of Thrones figures, not after season 7, 8. He then went on to say more heresy, such as InArt dropping L's with Danny certified trash. But I will go on to say that Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, first of her name, the Unburnt, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, Breaker of Chains, and Mother of Dragons, has officially been revealed. And honestly, the crowd went mild for this one because that's not what I was hoping. Now, there's a lot of pluses. For one, light years better than the 3-0 crap.
Even in its current state, it is.
Even in the current state, because I have 2 Daeneryses from 3-0. I have the Dragon Pit, and I have the Marine outfit, or whatever you want to call that, the Dorn outfit.
Right.
So it's bad. Even like it's not even close to the sculpt that they had originally put out of saying, hey, here's what she's going to look like. It didn't come out like that at all. So this is a step in the huge right direction. Now, let's talk about a couple of the complaints. People are saying, okay, the lighting, you couldn't really tell. What color is her actual hair? If it's going to be yellow, not going to be thrilled about that, because she doesn't have yellow hair. She has white hair. She's a Targaryen. Let's get what it's actually supposed to be. And strange outfit choice for sure, because it's not that flattering. It's pretty. There's no exposed joints that you need to worry about, seamless bodies and such. But when she goes to Dragonstone, or where she actually, when she walks out, and say what you want about 7 and 8, but when she walks out of and the dragon wings are behind her, it's a really, really cool scene. When she's at King's Landing in the final episode, if she's wearing those where she's got the dragon brooch on, I'm cool with all that. Maybe it's under this coat, who knows? But the thing that's like the biggest thing for me is that she's got a really strong chin on this, which is not Emilia Clarke at all. It looks okay. I have no idea why there's a cotton ball on her shoulder. I think maybe they're like trying to keep the metal from getting on the I don't know what's going on there. I'm excited about it. I really am. The base looks really cool. Really excited about that. Can't wait to see what else they come with. They will make improvements, because they've not made improvements on anything. There's never put out something that was worse than the prototype, to my knowledge. I mean, granted, they've only done 1.5 releases at this point. But
I want to stop you just for a second, because I want chat to actually have a chance to answer this one question.
Sure.
Because I've seen a lot of comments about like day one, but it needs improvement. Why are you buying it then?
Because I want to make sure that go ahead.
It's not a mean question. I want chat to actually answer that in the chat to give me a different perspective. And then I want to respond to that on my turn. But Keco, please continue.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I answer that question myself? I'm doing it, but I want to make sure that I do get it. Let's say that it's a pre-order window that they go by, or there's not a lot of demand. I want to get my name in. That way I know it's coming, because it is an upgrade from the 3-0 one. And I think that's where I'm looking at, is that I am trusting them that they are not going to fuck this up, because so far it looks like they are adamant about taking feedback and making improvements. But on the flip side of that, and maybe this is another topic I'm not 100% sure, I don't know why you show things that are half-baked. I think that's a big miss for InArt. I don't think that you should ever put something out. It's like when you like, oh shit, I forgot my project's due in the morning, and you like do something like right before homeroom to put it out there, and like your teacher knows it wasn't ready, but you still present it, and it's a bad look for you. I understand you need to build some hype or things like that. If that's the case, show that little tease where it showed from the back of their heads, and like, oh look, we got a Dumbledore, we got a Danny coming. That's fine. If it's not good enough to show, you shouldn't show it. Bottom line, because what people do is that people freak out. But then on the other flip side, they're like, well, we need to know the feedback. Well, you can look at that and say, that's not her. I mean, there's no way to be like, well, let's see what people think. Going back even to the Christopher Reeve one, is that no one's looking at that and it's like, oh, that's definitely, no changes need to be made here. Why even put a half-assed thing out there? That's my question. And so I don't know. Maybe to answer your question, Josh, maybe they're like, let's see how many people are going to pre-order this and see how serious we need to make, these changes. I have no idea, but I do trust them, and I think they're going to do right by me and by Daenerys. I think that they're going to honor the legacy of this character that was assassinated in the final season.
Quite literally.
Not just the character, but yeah, quite literally.
Yeah.
I believe that she will have a different fate in the books. That's what I'm holding on to.
Right.
But either way, make some changes, fix that ridiculous puff on her shoulder, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Well, to Josh, to answer your question before I chop in, I'll answer it as well. So, because people are saying similar, and this is what I would say as well. So, like Keco said, kind of putting a little bit of trust in our. I think the risk of missing out on what this figure could potentially be, I think, is greater than the risk of the NRD you would lose if you ended up not pre-ordering her at all. Should you love this character? Because for me, I have a massive fucking Drogon right there, and I've been waiting for a Daenerys figure to be released that I really liked because the 301s they make good shit. Particularly their Transformers, but when you look at their face sculpts, can be hit or miss. Daenerys is mostly a miss on every version. So I really have wanted a Daenerys. So to me, I'm willing to take that risk on the InArt Daenerys in the hopes they would update it. Because even if it turned out like this is still way better than any other Daenerys on the market for 1/6 scale that is licensed, right? Licensed depending on where you're at, whatever. Like that's attainable, right? So for me, I'm willing to take that risk because again, they have like Aragorn, the original prototype wasn't very good either. And then they adjusted and it looks fucking phenomenal now. So I think that's what they're going to do with Danny. I do hope they make this fully rooted though. I think that's the route that I'm thinking Keco, they're doing this because they want feedback. I think that's why. And I appreciate that.
And I will say, if they go the 3-0 route of the half sculpted, half rooted, that's going to be a huge miss for this figure.
I think so too. I think you got to go full rooted.
You do.
But this is good too, Keco, for Legolas, because this will tell you for Legolas, you got to go full rooted too. Like, don't go half sculpted. Like, but Josh, sorry, go ahead. I know you want to jump in.
Yeah. So I don't think anything. You could go about it so many ways, but without talking to InArt directly, I don't want to just assume like this is their plan, right? So anytime, because you guys mentioned like it's not up to par, it's not to your standards, and yet they're still showing it. So really what reveals come down to with any company, this is not just targeted at InArt, is how much bullshit can they get away with at a high price to see what they can let slide versus sales. And when I see people are like, well, it needs work and I trust the company, so I'll order it anyways, I'm thinking you're just giving them an excuse not to improve because you're going to spend the money regardless.
Right.
And that is the downfall of collecting in general. You're not wrong. I'm not getting into this. You're wrong and I'm right on everything. But if you want them to improve something and update something, don't just throw them money and just be like, well, hopefully they'll improve it and I trust them. Like, there are plenty of releases that aren't out yet, and there's plenty of work to do. And that's on any figure company. Like Hot Toys, for example, they put out great shit, but there have been a couple bombs where it's just like, this is dog shit. Right. And I'll pre-order it, but hopefully they'll improve it. Well, there's no incentive to improve it because you're going to buy it anyways. That's the reality. This is business on all of these fronts. I mean, that's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of this too much from a business standpoint, but I look at this and they're literally just trying to see who is okay with this just being good enough. And that's it. And honestly, the tweaks that they'll have to do might actually be budget cuts and all that shit. Like it could go one way or the other. But in the end, it's just like, if you're going to call this half baked, but they were okay and willing to show this was their final approved product. And if they do make any changes, it's because the community fought back and they didn't get enough orders.
What do you mean this is approved? It always says pending license.
You're not allowed to show a prototype typically, not always. A lot of the times it'll also say pending license approval. Yeah. This was approved by whoever owns the license to her likeness and Game of Thrones.
Well, 3-0 got approved, and I'm sure this did. Yeah, so.
Does it say pending approval anywhere?
I'll check and see. I don't think so, though.
But they've never put up an official photo of this, though. So this is just someone snapping a photo.
Well, InArt put this photo up.
That's InArt's photo. That is them taking the picture.
So, yeah, InArt
Are there more photos?
No, just the one. There's other people who have some, but that's
so they were okay showing this.
Right.
They were fine with that. This is, to them, their final product. Maybe they do want some feedback, but usually you can get some feedback, but once a license is approved, that's fucking it. Unless you want to go back and spend a lot of money to redo production. Because I guarantee you a lot of these pre-orders that start, they've already started production on these. They can't wait, especially with their speed versus the quality they're trying to put out. They've already started production on half these things that aren't even up for pre-order yet. They'll add more quantity as people order, but they already have an idea on how many they're going to make, even if it fails to excite the audience. So I don't think you should boycott. And I think you should give constructive criticism, which seems to be a really fucking difficult thing in the collecting community. I don't know why some of you are so fucking toxic. I love most of you. But like, give constructive criticism and don't just throw your fucking money because, oh, well, this is the only one out. Well, there will be another in like 2 fucking years. Right. Like, this is a business. The license isn't done.
I'll wait for the J&D.
I'll wait for the J&D, exactly. I'll wait for InArt. Wait.
I mean, J&D, yeah.
I know, J&D 1.6, bro. It's coming. It's coming. It's on its way. Yeah. We'll see, bro.
Comic Concepts 1.6.
Dude. Yeah. What about, Josh, what about Cosmic Concepts? Are they going to carry this?
Get fucked.
Keco, do you know about that? People call Josh Cosmic Concepts. Bro.
So many people call me Cosmic Concepts, and I want to punch them in the teeth. Like, right.
Yeah, Josh, don't call anyone. Don't
call me Cosmic Concepts. I'll lose my shit. It's like a trigger.
Cosmic Concepts.
Yeah, Cosmic
Concepts, not coccyx.
Concepts, yeah.
Nothing's wrong with the coccyx.
Yeah, right. The coccyx is fine. That part's fine. But guys, let us know your thoughts.
It's okay to disagree with me. I'm not right or wrong. We're just discussing.
I love discussion, and I'll plug it at the end of, I'll plug it at the end of this video or whatever. I made a video about toxic community or whatever, and I love the people that they're like, who made you the altruistic leader of, being able to tell us what to do and how to behave? I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm just asking people to behave and have civil discussion. Yeah. I mean, what is so wrong about that?
This is conversation, and you learn different sides.
Okay with it. Yeah.
You learn different sides, and then you can approach not an argument necessarily, but like a disagreement, for example. Yeah. And then you can come up with like, even if you don't agree, you can still have normal conversations. And I wish the collecting community, it's evolved so toxically in the forums where it's either right or wrong. Like someone mentioned like Hot Toys versus InArt. Who the fuck cares? They both make great shit. Yeah. Like,
as they've always said, per release. Someone told me a long time ago is that if the only opinion you know is your own, you don't even know your own opinion.
That's a good point. I like Hot Toys versus InArt because it's fun. That's why it's a fun conversation.
Hot Toys versus InArt is fun, but in the end, they both make
great shit.
Says, like, oh, InArt's coming. It's like, I guarantee you have like 50 fucking Hot Toys in your background. So don't act like they're gonna get like swept under you.
No, of course not, bro. They're both going to exist, and it's great.
Xbox, but you have like an Xbox like right now.
Well, to be fair, Josh, you said the collecting community can be toxic. That's every community, bro.
I know.
I know. Go on any subreddit, Game of Thrones subreddit, Last of Us. Go on anything. There's toxic.
I just don't like people. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, same, honestly. But I think Keiko's like that too, so it's fine. But I do love the collecting. It's still more net positive, like, than not. I mean, like, even sometimes, like with Gandalf, like some people didn't like my futzing. Again, like Keco said, I said I got some flack on that, right? But I still had over 200 plus likes to 20 dislikes. So more people than not. Like, it just sometimes we let that negativity rise to the top, and that kind of situates me more. And again, we're all learning, we're all growing, and trying to improve our process. So it's fine.
And I just want to close out that point with Daenerys. So, like, in the end, personally, I feel if you're going to look at a figure and be like, well, it's not really on point, but I'm still going to give them my money, maybe reevaluate what's in your collection. Because, like, don't just throw money for the sake of throwing money. And if there's an issue with it, before throwing money at the product, give advice, give feedback. Like, right now is an excellent time to give your feedback directly on their page on those photos. And let them come up with the updates before they release pre-orders. That's my opinion. And that's on any company. That's not just InArt. Like, I think Prime One, Hot Toys, Sideshow, any of it.
Yeah, and I think they will, Josh, because they did that with Aragorn from what I remember, right, Keco? I don't think they dropped the PO until they fixed it. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, he showed up broken to that Las Vegas event or whatever, and they're like, we're not putting this out here. Yeah.
Especially a company that's still trying to prove themselves. Like, don't let them get comfortable.
Well, that's why I'm glad the InArt exists, Josh, because Hot Toys was doing that here and there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Hot Toys got comfortable, man. Remember did. Our sweet little Ant-Man, Paul Rudd?
Yep. And
keep
of course,
the helmet on, baby.
And that's why people have said, like, they're going to update the Mace Windu head sculpt. I don't think they are.
Like, no, they're not.
No.
Well, now that InArt is in the field, they might start going back and doing that simply because it will make them look better, but they got their sales. They don't have to.
Right.
It's sold extremely well because same thing. Oh, well, there will never be another Mace Windu.
Right.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Riley, thank you so much, bro. Guys, 190 in here with 46 likes. Guys, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and of course, subscribe to Keco Collects. Go check out Comic Concepts. Go check out Comic Concepts. There's a link in the description below for that, but Comic Concepts is great. Guys, we're over 200 people watching. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to give the audience an applause. Thank you so much. Guys, we had a super chat, and of course, it's fucking Mr. Pizza Scooter. And where is it at? I have to go all the way back up because Melon is ridiculous sometimes. Nick's Collectibles, thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate you, bro. He said this Danny is almost as bad as Black Suit Toby. Black Suit Toby is not even that bad, bro. Like, come on now. It's
My
not even
man
that
Nick
bad.
and Riley have a active campaign trying to get that adjusted, and
They are. They're very upset. They're very upset.
To be fair, they've sent me quite a list of grievances, and I can say definitively there needs to be a few adjustments made. So Nick, Riley, I see your complaint. I still think that, you know, if you're saying you're not going to order it, don't you dare try, you know, so I don't want
It's going to be the only black suit.
They're still going to get it, bro. They're still going to get it. And Hot Toys knows
it.
Yeah.
Hold up. Can we put up Ricky P's comment?
Yeah. What do you say?
Real quick.
Oh, wait. No. Josh is so right on a lot of this. Ricky, don't inflate his fucking ego, bro. Don't inflate his ego. Don't do that shit.
You fuel me.
I think Ricky, now that I see Ricky, I remember because Ricky commented, I think, on my Pennywise review, and he's like, yeah, he's swimming in that outfit. I was like, dude, that was funny. Made me laugh. But yeah, it's funny. Like, and that's kind of why I do want to talk about that, but I want to hit another topic first, and then we'll loop back around to that. I want to.
And there goes Will.
All right, welcome to the Keco and Comic Concepts channel. My name is Josh, and today we're going to shit on both Hot Toys and InArt's.
Absolutely, Josh. It's great to be here with you as we really just try to keep this thing going. So I don't know how long. Till then, now we're going. Oh, fuck.
Dude.
Here we are. Dude, we had this show on lock, bro.
Dude.
We were good. I don't even know why you came back. Look at the
Were you guys on without me? Did it keep going?
We started our own show.
Dude,
you'll see it in the recording. It's good.
Go back and watch it. It's funny.
Kick my ass out, bro. Kick my ass out. It's totally fine. Did it give you guys the controls when I left?
No.
Okay. That's why we were kind of just like messing around.
We got it from here.
Go ahead and clock out early, Will.
Yeah, I'm gonna clock out early, bitches. Yeah, I clicked the back button accidentally and then I left the stream. So anyway, we got one more topic for InArt, and I really do want to bring this up because a lot of people were pretty excited about this, and I feel like right now they're not feeling as jazzed about it because we have another figure that is not exactly ideal, like at least in the prototype stages, and people are a little disappointed. So Keco, I gotta ask, is this 2-pack just okay? Is this another one where I can only assume that InArt is looking for feedback? They're saying, you know what? We want to get your words and say, what do you feel about this figure? How do you see it progressing? Like, is it good enough? Can we sell it to you like it is? Or do we need to make adjustments? And Keco, what do you think, bro? What are you thinking about this 2-pack here?
Well, it's the same question I asked. If you look at something and you know it's not right, and maybe it's a time thing, like, hey, you know, this is the best we can put out right now. Why even put it out? Because you can look at that and tell that is like a Star Ace head sculpt. It looks like Billy Butcher, you know, from that they put out from the boys. It's along that
Star Ace. You're trying.
I mean, they're the ones that we like to make fun of. But my question is that knowing that such an iconic character, that's one you cannot mess up. But the biggest question I have is that is okay. I think the bigger tragedy is how many people say Christopher Reeves. I hate that. That's also the same type of people. It's like, how's Joe Burrows doing? I don't know, but he doesn't have an S on his name, and neither does Reeves. Christopher Reeve.
And he's not doing well anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Neither is Reeve or Burrow. None of them are doing very well.
I think they did fantastic with this Michael Jackson figure. I think they got it perfectly. You just need to be able to pose the moonwalk.
Shimon.
Shimon.
That's my big question, is that this is one you can't mess up. There's way too many passionate fans. I mean, this is the first kind of look at Superman outside the comics. And so people are going to be like, whoa, that's not who I grew up with. And let's be honest, little 17, 18-year-old kids aren't buying this figure. This is for the older collector that has the money and such. And so you're not going to, half-ass something. So is it just okay? I don't even think it's okay. I think it's embarrassing that you would put something half-baked. I just don't like that.
Right. I totally understand. I get that. When I'm looking at this photo, though, I don't think it's quite as bad, but it still needs work. And yeah, I mean, look, with this, you were right, Keco. I think you had said this all along. With this like length of hair, they don't go rooted for these. Like, because I guess maybe it's either difficult or just not worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
but
what are you going to do?
Difficult.
Yeah,
it's really difficult
without it looking like
the
chosen one Anakin. That's what it looked like. It looked terrible.
Right. Well, they did it with Harry Potter, but I guess he had bangs and stuff. You know, like he has more kind of going on. But Josh, what do you think? I mean, about this Christopher Reeve super pack, Superman 2-pack?
I think it's all right. Yeah. I'm not going to shit on them for. Is this up for pre-order yet?
Not yet.
It looks like the cameo from The Flash, honestly.
Does it say prototype pending?
Damn, Keco.
Or pending approval?
I don't think so. I don't think they said anything like that.
I think they need to go back and figure this one out. I think there's definitely potential, and they're gonna nail it. I really do. Body looks good. I mean, yeah, they really need to go back and figure out what it is. Again, like sculpting likeness is really hard. I wouldn't put money in this right now, but I'm sure people will put down orders and be like, they'll improve it, just like they're gonna do with Daenerys. Look, it's so good. Hot Toys is done for.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Everyone always, all the InArt people always say Hot Toys is done.
I don't even understand why there has to be like a side. How is that just people wanting to be part of a community?
That's just when there's two good things, PlayStation, Xbox, fucking anything like that. You know, there's always going to be.
We all know, like, it doesn't even matter. You could be like PC or Xbox or PlayStation when we all know the fucking Nintendo Switch is just dominating all three markets.
Well, you even get that too. That's true. But you even get that. You even get that with like Mac and PC. People are like, "Oh, Mac or you get PC," and you know, people kind of.
Well, I'll tell you right now, PC. I don't. Yeah, but it also depends what you do in life.
Right. If you
like,
game,
Mac
PC.
is plenty good at other things.
Right.
Nolan is good at this sculpt, apparently.
Yeah.
Not even J&D, bro. Even though they're going to be entering 1/6.
J&D's is good, but I mean, again, then we never really talk about this cost versus benefit. Like, that's my big thing with collectibles. Like, I know you mentioned like Star Ace and 3-0, but like, dude, they're like $180.
Right.
This is going to be like 500.
Right. Well, it's a 2-pack. It'll probably be like
per figure.
Right.
So it's
it'll
just like
$649. $649
per.
$649. You're gonna predict that, Keco? No. Well, I mean, they are sculpted, to be fair, so it'd probably be a little bit cheaper.
Is it the 2-pack is $650 or?
That's Keco's
we don't
prediction.
know.
That's my prediction. Because even Superman, Superman is only like the Cavill Superman is only
the Cavill was like $350.
This is just dude in a suit with a hat. So
and then the other thing I look at this hat is that pleather. Is it going to peel in a year? Like,
flaking! My God,
you like what? I'm sorry, I don't like flaking.
Neither do I. I hate my.
I'm pro flaking.
I hate my friends.
I'm pro flake. I like the weathering. I like to see my suits just die in a year.
I like to see them fucking crumble to dust like Thanos got a hold of them. That's all I care about, dude. Yeah. Dude. But yeah, we'll see, guys. Let us know in the chat. I mean, the poll right now, it's 80% no that it's good, or 76%. It's dropping a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how this shakes out. But to me, it's like, dude, I think it just needs some work.
I hate all of you saying cosmic. Literally,
everyone's saying cosmic concepts, bro.
Any of your orders, I'm canceling them and keeping the NRD.
All you bitches are getting the cancellation notice.
All of them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write down each name.
He's taking names. You just made the list.
Dude, 100%, bro. He is. So, guys, I want to bring something up too, and this is something again that I put in the title of this video because it was something that I've noticed, I guess, a little bit more, and I think I have been a huge contributor to this, and I think this is something we all do, and I understand kind of why. It's a matter of, look, you're putting a lot of money into these collectibles. You want it to be right. You want it to be as good as it possibly could be, particularly with the InArt figures. Now we got Hot Toys Artisan figures dropping $400, $500 per figure. That's a lot of money. That's a PS5, dude. Like, that's a lot of money. That could be close to rent for the month if you have a roommate. If you don't have a roommate, you're probably paying double that or more. But in today's housing market. But so I kind of want to ask the question because it's always different because I like, since I've started reviewing, I've noticed this. Like, when I review something and people are like, "Oh, that looks like shit," or "That just looks terrible," and I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at then? Because I'm looking at it in person and I'm like, it looks really good to me, but I don't, like, everyone has a different perspective. So that's kind of when I want to ask the question, like, are we too picky as 1/6 collectors, or are we like just kind of doing our due diligence because we want things to be as good as they possibly could be for the prices we're paying? So Keco, I got to ask you the question, bro. I mean, what do you think in general? I mean, about us 1/6 collectors. That includes all of us, including us on this panel, because I've always been very picky too. I mean, so I'm in that boat. But what do you think? How would you describe us as a group?
Well, what would you consider seeing in person? Holding it or something? Because
yeah, or seeing it at a convention or something. Yeah.
For me, there's nothing that I've gone back on to say, oh, now that I've seen this, I really want it. I usually can tell if something's going to be ass or not. You know, I mean, there's no. Well, I take that back.
I'm Superman.
I was going to say until like I'm actually in the process of putting together my 10 worst figures. Someone asked for that as a video. And so I'm putting together my 10 worst figures. And sometimes I was super hype about them, but it wasn't until I held certain things. I'm like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Maybe you find out it's not as articulated. Maybe the suit's not as good as you want it to be. Maybe you look at it and then you can see, you know, I don't like the paint work. To me, that's another reason, like even reviews of figure, like, let's take a look at this figure, unbox. I don't care about that either, because depending on the light, depending on the reviewer, you can make it look a lot of different ways. So for me, if there's something I'm hesitant about, I need to hold it in my hand. I need to see kind of what it feels like, what's the issue. And ultimately, once I put it in the display, I can make my final judgment call for me. So, and then hopefully, depending on where you get, if something you get and you're like, this is not what I thought, then sell it, move it on, or return it, depending on where you got it, because that's not shilling for Sideshow by any means. That shilling for Sideshow. But if you get it there, and they do have some return options, if it's broken or something, sometimes you have to maybe pay the postage back. But that does help you get it in hand, make a definitive decision, and make a decision from there. But I'm never going to look at a blogger photo and be like, that looks okay. Look at a reveal and a review and be like, ooh, that looks a little bit better. I've made my mind up by that point, but that might just be me.
Right. And I think you can make an accurate assessment based on video or photos or whatever. But I think we all do this, whether you see my review or someone else's, Justin's or whoever. Like you could, like Keco said, it's so dependent upon the lighting, the certain pose, whether the futzing is to your liking. And every 1/6 collector is going to be so different in what pose looks good to them, in terms of what futzing looks good to them. So it's just like you can make such a snap judgment, and then you get it in, and you might be like, oh, that's really fucking good. I just did something slightly different, and I love it. Right. So sometimes you have a figure and you just kind of get tired of it and you're like, I think I'm going to sell it. And then you repose it and you're like, fuck.
There's just something about unlocking that. Sometimes just taking out of your display and moving it around and holding it again. And you're like, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. And so to me, and even Riley even said just a second ago, is that once you get something in hand yourself, then you can kind of change your perspective. I got to run, take care of Drago real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. So Josh, what do you think? You know, you're a retailer, you sell these figures, you sell these statues. What do you think? I mean, overall, do you think we as 1/6 collectors are pretty picky? Do you think seeing it in hand is really like a prerequisite to a good opinion? What do you think?
I think most of us, including myself, fucking suck as collectors. Like, I think we're really picky, but like we are so used to seeing greatness, and granted, it comes at a very hefty price, but you get numb to the idea of like the detail that is actually like here. Like when I put these statues up like at conventions, I'm like, all right, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But every time people pass by that have never seen these before, they're like, oh my God. And it could be like a shitty piece too, and they're still like, holy shit, look at this piece. And I mean, a perfect example is like that I recently experienced was like the Prime One Studio Guts Berserker Armor Rage. Right. I know that's a lot of words, but that's what it is. And I did not actually care for it in the photos. I didn't order it. And I'm a big Berserk fan. But I actually got it in hand and put it up at the show. And it was actually our best-selling piece too, over anything DC, Marvel, Star Wars, anything. It and the Evangelion piece sold the most, the EVA Unit 13, which is insane to me because when I look at a lot of these pieces, I don't really get excited. And then you see them in person and they're like, holy shit. So I think we are really picky as collectors, but at the same time, this is a lot of money and these are important decisions. So it's a little bit of both. Like you do need to be picky. You absolutely should be picky. This is not cheap shit. This is the end game of collecting. That is the reality of what we do here. And I think a lot of us have gotten so used to that And we assume because we're spending a shit ton of money that we need to have more of a voice. And to an extent, that's correct. But in the end, still understand that not every photo is going to be accurate. And these are still prototypes. And no matter what, it's either going to be better or worse when it comes out. Like, it is not going to be just like the prototype. They're going to use different materials. They're going to have, you have different workers and artists working on these. Granted, you really should lose your shit if something's 10 to 20% off the prototype.
Right.
But otherwise, I think you can tell what you, how do I word this properly? If you see something, regardless of photo versus in hand, you should know if you want it. Because if you want it in the photos, it's probably going to be better when it arrives. And that's usually how it is for me. And I have a lot of collectibles. I told you I'm having trouble figuring out how to display most of them right now.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of pieces where I bought them like spur of the moment. And then I was like, oh shit, this is actually really sick. I've very rarely been disappointed. I think the photos are fairly accurate. And if you don't get like that little buzz or like, holy shit, this is amazing, you probably shouldn't fucking buy it. Because it's not going to be that much better when you get it.
I think I'm with you, Josh.
It may be better, but like, if you weren't excited to get it to begin with, don't. It's not going to like
some
just
great points right there. 100%.
It is. Well, it's funny because you guys are both absolutely dead on this one. The one figure I think that I've ever gotten in hand that I was disappointed with was Moff Gideon, because I got it in hand and I was like, I just didn't love the head sculpt, and I just returned it. I returned it to the Sideshow because I was like, I'm not feeling it. But almost every figure is better in hand, and it's funny, like, because the figures, look, they're small. They're 1/6 scale. They're small, right? So when you go and you film a review or whatever, and you see it, it looks a lot bigger, and because the camera is filling the frame, right? But when you see it in person, it's like, oh, this very fucking tiny minor detail that maybe you were so disappointed with is so minuscule in the grand scheme of things that it's just really not going to make or break your opinion. Like Riley had said with the Doc Ock head sculpt, I said that all along. It was never a banger 10 out of 10 head sculpt, but I felt like it was good. It was decent, right? It was good.
Right.
And like Riley said, getting it in person, it's really not that bad. That's pretty much almost every figure. Like that's, like it's.
Because you're not taking a magnifying glass to these motherfuckers.
Right.
Like that's not what you're doing here.
But there are some people that do that though.
Then they're 100%. Breaking their figures. You're not supposed to fucking play with these like Barbies.
Right.
They're collectible figures. Like if you're that, you probably got other issues in your life if you're that crazy. I'm sorry.
Maybe.
Like that sounds really mean, but like if that's like your biggest complaint and like taking a magnifying glass to it and it's just not good enough, you probably shouldn't collect. It's probably very stressful on you. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that for your mental health. Like,
that is such a great point. Like, I feel like there's some people in the community, and maybe not a majority, but there's so many people that like, how do you enjoy doing this? Like, why do you?
Yeah,
like,
it's probably really stressful.
Like that is so terrible.
Right. I mean, like I will say though, as not necessarily devil's advocate, but I do feel like it is important to have high standards with this because we are putting a lot of money. It's good to be picky, like you said, Josh. It's good to be picky to a degree. I agree with all of that. Like I think you should be picky, but I think also people do need to be reasonable too. And sometimes I think I've fallen into that trap, maybe where we've all kind of been unreasonable. I've probably done that with certain criticisms of figures I didn't have or whatever. Like, and I still think you can look at a figure and look at the photos and make a judgment. I don't think your judgment is invalid at all. So I think that's a very valid point to make. But it just, to me, I just think it's, I just think that's what I would say. I would say it's just a matter of like, everyone's going to be different in kind of how they approach it. And everyone's going to be different in what, they're going to say. So, yeah.
And that's fine. That's why we have so many options, which is great. Like a difference of opinion isn't necessarily bad. I mean, look at all the collectibles we have because of differences in opinions. Right. Why do you think we have 5 of the same fucking figure out? Because it wasn't for everybody each release. Right. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Except Davy Jones, who was perfect on release, and then they'll never do another, which really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Davy Jones, that would be great to see another one of those.
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen though, but it would be cool. It would be cool.
My knockoff is not bad, but I do wish I had the original.
Yeah. I kind of wish I had the original too, to be honest. But we got to talk about this real quick. And I know we have time for a couple more topics, I think. And I want to kind of keep this sort of big picture stuff rolling because I think people are enjoying it. So guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. I think it's pretty cool to talk about these big picture topics and just see where things go. That said, rising prices. I want to bring this up. And honestly, I don't even know why I fucking took Scarlet Witch down, because that's probably where I'm going to start. Like, I think, look, again, the artisan figure is $440. I think that's very reasonable based on the current market and what InArt is charging and what Rooted Hair seems to be costing for these manufacturers, apparently, because they're passing on cost to us. That said, Keco, I'm wondering, and I'm a little concerned. I see these. I'll post a poll for you guys to vote in the chat. I'm wondering if people are going to feel a little priced out, because I see people going for the sculpted versions instead of the rooted versions solely because of the price factor. And I see some people skipping on InArt because of the price involved, except for like Superman, where it's sculpted and it's $350 more reasonable. But some of these other ones like Gandalf, Pennywise, $500, you know, it's significant. It's a threshold 1/6 collectors are still getting used to. So Keco, I got to ask you the question. Again, quality is going up, but prices are going up. Is this a problem? Do you think people are going to abandon ship? What do you think?
It's a good question, and I think the answer lies in how long you've been collecting, if you want to call it that. Because when you first get into this hobby, you go balls to the wall. You get so excited and like, look at my 50 pre-orders. I can't wait for it. Because all you have to do is just put down a non-refundable deposit, you know, an NRD for 10%. I can drop
just
25.
So easy.
Yeah, I can drop $30 here, $40 here at most. You know,
$1,500 there.
Yeah, it depends on what your deposit is. And so you put those out there, and then when it's time to release, you're like, oh fuck, I didn't realize, you know, I got 5 figures coming this month. Remember, like when we had the tsunami of all the figures that one month, where it's like 10, 12 figures, and so I'm like, I don't know what to do, because this is an expensive hobby. You get into it knowing what the baseline is, and it's just the way it is. So the people that are new to collecting and they try to bite off more than they can chew because they don't understand like how the release dates work and how all that, they don't prioritize their budgets and such. And it's just literally they act on impulse, and that's it. If you're a more seasoned collector, you kind of know the ebbs and flows about, and maybe you even got some things. And so you're like, okay, well, I already got one Scarlet Witch. I don't need another one. Or I've got one Anakin. I don't need another one. Or maybe it's okay, because I've done this a while, I only have so much room. I'm going to get rid of 3 figures and I'm going to put that money towards something else. Oh, that's Amy.
Yeah, literally Amy in the chat, bro.
It depends on what the figure
Amy, I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. I'm so sorry. I will see you in 3 weeks, though. I'm super excited.
It depends on the figure, babe. It depends on the figure.
Keco, we got to tell the people, are we going to do the double date thing?
Oh, she's all in for it. I think it could be a lot of fun. She wants you to stay a week so she can do the dating show.
Okay, guys, because I don't know, Josh, what do you think about this idea? Keco and I had this idea. So I meet a random girl on the dating app in Nashville, right? And then we go on a double date with Keco and Amy. I wonder if they would they agree to that?
You could probably bring a whole bachelorette party if it's Nashville.
I think that'd be I took you to Broadway. You saw the Broadway bitches.
Do you want to date this girl, or do you just
well, there's no specific prospect yet, but I think
it's gonna be really difficult to find a stranger to come on to a live show.
Not a live show.
No, not quite like that. Not quite like that.
Okay.
She was like hey, this is like, you know, the ultimatum. This is the Bachelor, and so we're going to help you with these like 5 type of.
I'll do it. I'm down.
So anyway, I don't know how we got on. Oh, because Amy.
I don't know.
Amy did this.
It sounds more like a sacrifice.
But we will find you somebody, when you come here. But going back to this, I think, and then I'll shut up. It does vary based on the figure. That's what I'm saying. But I lost my train of thought because she just literally pulled into the driveway. So who knows how this is going to go. But yeah, if you're a newer collector, I can see it being an issue. But if you've been around, you kind of know the ebbs and flows.
Right. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, so Josh, what do you think, bro? I mean, do you think these rising prices are going to be problematic for collectors? What's your overall forecast of that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, what is a rising price not a problem? I think the reality is, you know, I only started thinking of this because I have like super old Sideshow pieces. Like I still have my Blood Elf versus Draenei, which I think is 10, 12 years old now. It's old. And like you can see the difference in detail, like the paint finish, all that. So we're getting more and more detailed pieces, but things are also becoming a lot more expensive. And on top of that, you know, the market has changed. Different dollars fluctuate differently. But in the end, like I don't know where all the costs are coming from. If it's coming from greed, if it's coming from material costs, if it's coming from shipping, like it's probably all of the above. I mean, we've discussed this for weeks, how I'm not going to say who, but we negotiated with a couple different companies new contracts. And we were still able to offer their product, but the prices are higher because very few people are able to continue selling what is available because, quite honestly, I mean, I don't know if a lot of you realize when you buy something overseas now, you have to pay import fees. And most companies are not letting you know that. Just surprise, by the way. So if you see a lot of these North American retailers boosting their prices on certain pieces, just know there's a big reason, and it's not greed. So just be aware when you're spending money overseas outside of, if for those of you that are in the US, buying from any of the US retailers, be aware that if you're buying overseas, you're going to start paying import fees, and it's really goddamn expensive. And I think that was the biggest thing. Like, we discussed it with that. I can't say the manufacturer.
No.
If you guys do even the most minimal research, you'll see. But prices are going up for a multitude of different reasons. And the reality is right now, the hobby, in my opinion, is in the worst state it's ever been. You're seeing companies go out of business. You're seeing shops go out of business. You're seeing a lot of different partnerships break apart because there's mass cancellation going on in the industry. And, a lot of us talk about different things. Like, I do not refund deposits unless there's something catastrophic that occurs. And there's a reason I don't cancel or I don't refund deposits or even transfer them. It's not about having your money. It's about, I bought this piece for you and it's been reserved for you and it's coming no matter what. I don't get to just cancel my stock. I have to pay for it. And that's what you're seeing with a bunch of these retailers. The bigger the retailer, the harder they're getting hit. And that's the reality of the situation. So the retailers that are not, or in general, you're seeing prices from a security standpoint. Like, it's more, I'm so sorry. I'm just like, I have so many thoughts going and I'm stuttering over them.
This is invaluable information.
If you're seeing an expensive piece, it's because the collector that's still willing to buy that piece is less likely to cancel. That's the reality. And also, if it's a lower edition size, they're less likely to cancel. Even payment plans don't matter. I've had people cancel payment plans. We are just in bad times right now. And it's not necessarily just collecting. It's everything wide. I mean, think about the strike, how that's going to affect business over the next 6 months to a year. There's going to be nothing new coming out for 6 months of a stall. People are not making money. Do you know how many people rely on the industry? It's not just actors. It's people in filmography, stunt actors, catering, cities that need that income for the people that come in and film there. We are going into really bad economic times. And in order to counter that, you need to make low edition sizes with high prices. And that's exactly what most retailers or manufacturers that are successful and have gone through times like these before are doing. And you'll notice that, again, with nearly every single proper manufacturer. If you're not seeing that with someone, I'm sorry. Anyone that's like, we're doing fucking great, I don't know what you're talking about. You're full of shit. Be really wary of buying from them. Because it doesn't matter how good you are. Sideshow, King of Kings is even struggling, okay? They're not going to go out, but if they go under, I guarantee everyone else has gone under first.
Right.
Everyone is going through shit right now. Do your due diligence, chill out on your purchases, and don't just buy shit for the sake of buying shit, okay? Because if you're canceling, doesn't Sideshow have a ban rule too? And this was before COVID. If you cancel like 5 items in X amount of time, you're not allowed to shop with them.
I think that changed when they started doing they changed the way their refundable and all that cancellation policy was because of the release dates kept getting pushed back. So they waived all those things. So
it's more than that. So the reality is when people complain about not getting their non-refundable deposits back, they're like, oh, you can just resell it. no, you fucking can't, because a lot of this is dead stock.
It is.
And if you ordered it, it's because we got you the piece. And this is every retailer. This is not just me. I will speak on behalf of all retailers. I'm very careful about not, but this is a real fact. Right. The non-refundable deposit there is as a simple cushion to keep you from canceling. Yeah, sure, we can probably sell the piece you cancel, but what if we can't? Then we're losing all that money to take your piece in and then sit on it while we try to figure out how to afford everything else that's coming in. Now imagine that on every goddamn release. I mean, where do you think that capital is coming from to keep a business afloat? Why do you think these sales exist? It's not because we want to help the community. It's because we need to fucking get rid of this shit or we're going to go out of business. And I'm saying we because that is everybody. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. I'm just saying.
Right.
Sorry. There's so much I could say on this. I'm just telling you right now, I'm doing fine. I am doing fine. I'm not going out of business.
You'll be all right.
It's a bit of a struggle, but I'm not going out of business and no one's losing their orders. But the reality is that's why I'm so strict on the deposit thing. I don't want you to fucking cancel. If I wanted you to cancel, I'd find ways to make you cancel, and then I'd get to keep deposits and flip shit all day long, and I'd make extra money.
Right.
But that's not how it works.
You sound like another reseller I know about.
There's a lot of those, but and
take it with a grain of salt, mate. You know what?
Just
Maybe
don't go out of
totally
business until I get
wrong.
that Black Label Michael.
Did you order that with Josh, Keco?
No, I still need to, but don't go out of business.
Which one?
The Black Label Michael.
Oh, the Blitzway one.
Low, super low. That's another.
Josh doesn't stock that much.
Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with the stats or anything. It's just, contract renegotiations. And again, not a bad thing. I just don't know what I'm allowed to say.
Right.
We can talk privately.
Yeah, we can talk about it off stream. Truly nothing bad with that. There's just, again, when I talk about renegotiations, there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes right now that nobody realizes. The only thing I can say is I very much recommend, if you truly want something, you put down a fucking deposit as quickly as possible. And I'm just saying, I said this a year ago when I got made fun of, and reality is here where everything is waitlisting. I told you so. I told you so. I fucking told you so.
That was me saying it wasn't going to happen.
Everyone made fun of me. I told you the direction the industry is going. I'm still here because of this insight.
Josh, no.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, it's truly just supply and demand. I mean, again, a company would rather not overproduce and would rather just make a small edition size with a high price with less risk. That is just, it's actually really simple to predict this market. It really is. And everyone that hypes on the forums, that's like, I'm totally fucking buying this from so-and-so. No, the fuck they're not. They're just commenting to make it look like they're part of the hype train. And then I'll see it. I watch these forums and people are like, I'm ordering this with Comic Concepts. Holy shit. They didn't fucking order, just by the way. It's a lot of hype.
But did they
use the code? A lot of people want to be part of the hype even if they can't buy.
Well, they better use the WillFox code. That's all I know.
They can use the WillFox code.
Or Big Booty 69. That's a better code. Did I tell you about that, Keco? Josh asked me, he's like, what do you want your code to be? And I was like, Big Booty 69. He was like, I'm going to make it that. And I was like, nah, just make it WillFox.
Speaking of Amy, did you know like
Booty 69?
One of her passwords forever was booty something, booty and some numbers.
I love it.
That was like one of her passwords forever.
Amy's awesome, dude.
Like when we got married, it's like, hey, can I get into your thing? She's like, yeah, it's this password. I was like, that's your password? I was like, she's like, yeah. I was like, we're changing all of this.
Yeah, we're changing all this passwords. That password cannot be on any of your accounts, dude. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for your thoughts on that one. I think we're gonna have time for one more topic. We did get a super chat though, and I mean, look, I'm going to read it. I think from what I saw, I think this one's going to be for Josh. And I think I don't know, but I appreciate the super chat. The Illuminati said, Josh, when is your Doc Ock and Green Goblin stock coming in? I want to be done with my pre-orders at Comic Concepts. P.S. I think it's a little toxic making fun of collectors. Well, I'm sorry if you're offended, Illuminati.
Damn.
Yeah.
You gave him money to tell me you hate me?
Yeah, he did, I guess. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Illuminati, if you were offended, but I don't take any offense to anything Josh said.
Yeah.
I took no offense, but
yeah. No, I try to be equal with everybody, but I mean, they're coming. I mean, it's whenever they reach North American shore. I mean, that's the reality. And I'm happy to get you them. They'll be double locks, and then you can be rid of me. I don't know who you are. I'm sorry if I hurt you, but I'm glad that there was nothing wrong with any of your orders or customer service.
No, why would there be, dude? It's common concepts. Why would there be?
And I wouldn't say I'm making fun of collectors. I mean, I'm a collector too. That's not what I'm here to do. Right. And if you're offended, I'd love to know how you're offended and why. But I'm not making fun of collectors. I'm talking about the culture of collecting as a whole and trying to give the best insight I can. If you take offense, I'm sorry.
Well said.
And the only way people can learn is if you tell them and edge. And again, that's where constructive criticism, which I was stressing earlier, comes into play. So if I offended you, I'm sorry. I still hold to what I say. If there's a better way to say it, then that's a different story. But in the end, it always has been my mission and will continue to be to educate collectors as best as I can. And if you do not want to be educated by me, or if you don't agree with me to the point where you don't like me, that's totally fine, because there's a bunch of other wonderful options to shop with. I'm not the only option out there. I won't be the only option out there. And I will not change my morals just to suit a certain class of collectors. If you agree with me, that's awesome. And if you don't, that's fine too. This is a passion project for me. A lot of people who know me, like, I have a full-time job. I have a very busy full-time job.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I was able to make it this far with Common Concepts, but I've done something right if people are still buying from me and building up my company, which I'm very grateful for. All right, now I can't be serious anymore. It's very hard for me to be serious.
That's as much serious as you can have, Josh. Yeah, exactly.
But you speak truth and you speak it in love. I'm not trying to be silly. I do feel like you say everything as, I'm saying this as a way to benefit somebody. It's not like hey, I'm trying to shit on you type of thing.
Yeah, no. Because I mean, again, it doesn't benefit me to shit on you. Like, what am I gaining?
We have abrasive communication styles, both.
Yes. And I like it to be spicy and fun. But if anyone's ever offended, by all means, please write me and let me know. And I'm terribly sorry if I did. That's not my goal here in the slightest.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, bro, I'm not offended, but I mean, Illuminati, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. I'm sorry if you're offended, but it's just the reality of the situation. Anytime you're in a public forum and you're giving your honest opinion, you're going to offend somebody. I've offended many people doing these streams, giving my opinion. It's unfortunate. It's part of the territory.
I get offended when you talk about the Bengals. I get offended when you say the sequel trilogy.
I saw Keco's comment. All you said was
Bengals.
Okay. Yeah. The
bagels. You're talking about bagels.
I mean, I actually do need to get bagels when I leave here. Actually, I need to get some bagels. So thank you for the reminder, Keco, on that one. I need to get some bagels. So, guys, we got time for one more topic, though. And I want to hit on this one real quick, because I think overall, this is something that we actually passed up on, I think, a week or two ago, because the Sideshow Clone Wars CAD Bane has been put up for PO. He's $285. This is not exactly a cheap boy. However, he does look pretty cool, and I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about it, because some people were not exactly thrilled about the Book of Boba Fett translation to the big screen, so to speak, the small screen, I guess, TV, live action, whatever you want to call it. So the hat and just the overall look, I love that Book of Boba Fett CAD Bane. I think he's fucking incredible. But we have a Sideshow one. Sideshow's track record with 1.6 has been a little shaky, I guess I could say. They do some good work and then some questionable ones, like General Grievous, right? That overall, some people love, some people have some issues with. Nonetheless, Keco, can Sideshow be entrusted to manufacture good 1.6 scale figures? Because this is not really a cheap figure. What do you think?
No. And the fact that it is $15 more than the Hot Toys version is comical to me. The collector's edition CAD Bane Hot Toys one is $270. This is $285. Right. So you're charging it. Well, you get Toto. Well, there you go. I am not. And look at that hexagonal base. Absolutely fire. So there's not a great track record with the Clone Wars figures, even that they put out. The Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Ahsoka. Not great. They're charging way too much. I think they probably need to be about $50, $60 cheaper, and then they'd be fair. Are they good representations? Do they look good? they don't look bad. They don't look like Hot Toys level, but I don't think they're trying to be because these are animated versions of the film. But the price point is where it's the issue. If they were cheaper, sure, I'd be like, okay, I know what I'm getting. Cheaper bodies, you know, right here distribution, you know, local, whatever, that's fine. But I cannot get past the price point. I know one of my buddies, supposed to have breakfast with him tomorrow, is that he's like so hyped about this one. I was like, why are you paying $15 more for in my opinion, an inferior figure? He's like, well, this is just the definitive look. I need this one. I'm like, okay, to each their own. So when it comes out, I think it'll be the same comments that they made about the Yoda, the Ahsoka, the General Kenobi, and the Anakin. They're like, well, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Definitely departure from the prototype. And all of them have been departures from the prototypes. So just know that, yeah, you may get a cartoon accurate version, but I don't think you're going to be at the end of the day saying this was my shelf stealer. Just being honest.
Right. And I think for most people, it's more about the character here. It's more about they really want CAD Bane Clone Wars in figure form. And look, man, we all know Sideshow does an amazing job distributing. They do a great job. We all have a lot of respect for them and what they do. And they're just, I think we're all big fans overall, right? But it's just when they're figure manufacturing, particularly 1/6, again, it's been a little bit questionable. I think they're capable of it. It's just maybe going to take some time to get it right. But they seem to do a little bit better with their statues and, of course, their distribution. But Josh, what do you think? I mean, for 1/6 scale figures, I know it might be a difficult position for you to get into, but should collectors feel some confidence here? What do you think? Josh is going to get himself in trouble. Don't get yourself in trouble.
No. I mean, dude, truthfully, like you said, like I have the utmost respect for Sideshow. Right. From a 6 scale standpoint, it's not that I don't think they're trying. I think that, you know, they've had a shaky track record. They really have. And I mean, I can say that as a collector and a retailer. Like I'm not allowed to talk about inside shit, but the reality is, you know, there were some releases that were not great. There were a lot of QC issues. But on the flip side, you know, their most recent Clone Wars line has been actually really good. And I've received a lot of positive things. The only real issue I had was Grievous when he came in. So they've never missed a mark from an animated figure standpoint, in my opinion. They haven't. I mean, their Clone Wars Yoda came in, it looked great. Their Anakin came in, looked great. Obi-Wan came in, looked great. So why shouldn't CAD Bane look just as good? And from the prototype, it looks absolutely amazing. If they can get close to the prototype, I think collectors will be happy. My concern isn't the likeness. My concern is the joints. And that's where their figures have had issues. Now, this is going to hit waitlist regardless of how many people order or not because of how business is currently being run. This is the pendulum swing. So if it's something you want and you want to take the risk, I recommend going for it. They're not going to edit it for you. Like our previous conversations, this is going to be what it's going to be when it comes out. If Sideshow gives a shit about their 6 scale line, it's going to come out nice when it releases. If there's issues with it, I would treat this as your last chance, and after that, be done with it. Because no one else is going to make a CAD Bane like this. They're just not. Right. So it's kind of one of those situations where this is unfortunately one of those things where it's like, do you want to take the risk and hope it's going to be good when it comes out?
Right.
I would like to think with Sideshow. Well, let me rephrase all of this. Here's the thing with Sideshow. They allow returns if the prototype is off, don't they? So this is a lot safer of a gamble.
Do they?
Okay.
You have to
returns.
If the figure is not to what you ordered, or if there's joint issues, they have to take a return.
Right.
Now with other retailers, I think even with me, we would do that. It's just not a decision in a day that can be solved.
Right.
Like we have to go back to Sideshow and be like, look, this is the issue. This customer wants this. What can we do for them? Right. That's kind of where it's at for us. So look, if you like CAD Bane and this is your CAD Bane, get it. Just get it. Because the reality is they're not going to make another. No one is going to make another. No one's going to have the license in the next 5 to 10 years. If they do, I'd be shocked because that would mean Sideshow gave it up.
Right. No way.
And they're not. They're not. So I think it's sick. I don't know much about CAD Bane, but the figure looks great and it had a lot of positive responses. I would just be wary, you might have to adjust the joints a bit.
Right.
Hopefully not, but if there are issues, it hasn't been with likeness from the prototype.
Well, because the figure itself looks fantastic.
It looks fantastic, but
the hat
I would be concerned, like if the hand like falls down, then I'd be like, well, fuck.
Right.
You can't oil that up or like whatever nail polish, right? Usually adds friction to it because he's wearing a jacket. So that would require a replacement. But the nice thing is with Sideshow, and I've done this, you replace the body till it's right.
Right. Because Grievous was a whole nother beast altogether, bro. He has Grievous, like fucking 4 arms.
I mean, it still had the old base with the trademark, and I was very upset.
Right. That was very disappointing.
The figure looked great.
Yeah, it looks good.
Fantastic. But the joints were shit.
Yeah, the joints were shit. Yeah, everyone knew. Yeah, everyone knew. I remember I had it on pre-order at one point, and like the pictures were coming out in videos of people getting it, and I was like, like
most people did their own work. They did the nail polish, they added friction in the joints, and then it became a stellar figure. For those that don't want to do that, which to be fair, you shouldn't have to.
Right.
They returned it, and that was that.
Yeah.
So I think there's ways to make this work as long as the paint application and the props are on point.
Yeah.
If you really want this CAD Bane.
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. And we, of course, are going to wrap it there. Thank you guys so much for joining us this Friday. Live stream, Lights, Camera, Keco Comic Concepts Collects. Friday, October 6th. We did it. We knocked it out of the park. That said, Mr. Keco Collects, sir, I know you put out a video recently about toxicity, and I thought it was very interesting. I really enjoyed it. It's a very compelling video, and not everyone agreed, but that's how you know it's good content, bro, because it's getting people talking and getting people interested and engaged. Is there any other videos you got coming that are just really exciting like that? Because your videos have been absolute fucking bangers lately, bro.
Well, I do appreciate the plug, Will. Yes, my latest video was about the toxic community, and of course, there was plenty of toxic comments in it. And then there's toxic comments in this chat because I've said specifically that it's not toxicity to have an opinion. Just like me and Josh can go back and forth. It's when I was like, no, Josh, you're a moron because you think this way. That's toxic.
Fuck you, Keco. Die in a ditch.
But people actually do communicate that way on forums and such. And all I was saying is, everyone's like, who made you the leader? All I'm saying is that just be civil. We're adults, so start acting like it. Stop acting like people stole your Lunchable. That's that's all I'm saying. Is that I think that's okay. And they're like, why don't you just stick to collecting then? I was like, well, yeah, but if it's not enjoyable to collect, then people won't do it. So I feel like it all kind of goes together. So if you haven't checked that out, I do have a video about toxic collecting, but there was a request because I sometimes do take requests. We did the 10 rarest figures in my collection. Everyone's like, hey, I'd like to see the 10 worst figures in your collection. So I went through and I'm like, okay, what are the 10 figures I fucking can't stand in my collection? And that's a great question as to why they're even still in there, but that will be debuting here really, really soon. I actually recorded that today. So that'll be coming out real soon. And you might be surprised on which 10 made the list. So make sure to check that out on YouTube. Obviously Instagram, not Threads, but TikTok as well. I'm at 500 on TikTok. I'm halfway there because once I get to 1,000, we can go live. So really excited about that. So for all you people out there that have not done the TikTok, please check it out. But working on that, working on reels. But I'm also, last thing I'll say is that a lot of people said they don't see a lot of my toy photos on Instagram. And they're like, do you care to throw that in the community side of YouTube? So you'll start seeing my photos show up on YouTube as well as a post. So just trying to get as many eyeballs as we possibly can.
Love it, bro. 100%. I think that's fantastic.
And spoiler alert, Judge of Truth, Iron Spider is on the list.
Nice. Judge of Truth knows, bro. Judge of Truth knew what was up, bro. 100%. So yeah, bro, thanks so much for joining, as always, being my amazing co-host, my co-pilot. It's fucking great to have you. I cannot wait to come to Nashville. That's going to be so exciting, dude. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to visit Josh in Atlanta when he's willing to have me stay at his place. So
anytime, the guest room's open.
Dude,
you too, Keco.
Yeah, dude, Keco should come with, bro.
Trust me, Keco, we could hang out without Will.
No,
really
fuck
fun.
you both.
I got season passes to Six Flags in Atlanta. I mean,
we could go if you want to see like a homeless guy shitting in a bucket next to a roller coaster. It'll be really fun.
Is that a thing?
No,
I think he's just talking about Atlanta in general.
I was about to say, I was like, that. I'm not going to that, bro.
No, honestly, I like Six Flags. It's really fun. That was when we were talking about Shikra, and I tricked my friend into going on a second time, and then I made a joke about her belt being loose at the top of Shikra.
Yeah. Dude, that was hilarious, guys. Josh,
just a little chaos.
Well, we did get a super chat, Josh, before I get to you. Luis said, Hey folks, any chance that any of you could do videos on the Apex time cases or TerraVault? Luis, thank you so much for the super chat. I had an Apex on pre-order at one point, but I ended up not having room for it. I had nowhere to put it, so I ended up canceling it, and I had to eat the NRD. But it was like $30. You never want to eat something like that, but it just happens sometimes. But I don't think, Josh, you don't carry those, right? Apex.
I've heard of TerraVault, but like I try not to carry anything that I haven't seen a release product of yet, because anyone can come up with a good idea.
Right.
But like, if there's not a final product after production, I mean,
right.
You know, like, and that's why like InArt was like scared. I mean, it's exactly what we discussed with Joker, right? They haven't put out a single figure. So like, how can you be excited about it if you haven't seen a final product? Right.
Yeah.
So especially with cases that are holding your expensive collectibles, I'd like to see a final product that can actually like be tested before
the
I
Apex
start
ones are
stocking
pretty
that.
good though, from what I've seen. I don't have an
Terra or the Apex?
The Apex. Yeah.
I haven't even actually heard of Apex. TerraVault I've seen the ads for, and they look lovely, but I haven't actually like reached out to anybody or anything because I want to see like how they do.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. Well, Josh, thank you so much for joining, bro, as always. And what's coming up on Comic Con? I want to say Cosmic Concepts now. Comic Concepts.
Shut the fuck up.
What's coming up?
All
dude?
of you in
sales,
chat. I saw
sales,
every Cosmic.
Black Friday.
So we have a few things coming up. I don't tell about sales till they happen. That's not fair to everyone else. But you do have your discount code for anyone who watches. For anyone wanting to get out of Comic Concepts, don't worry, your orders are coming. And they will be very well handled and taken care of. And then you can tell me to kiss my ass or your ass or whoever's ass. And then you will be rid of me. And for those that are coming to order, your orders will also be taken care of. And you can still tell me to kiss your ass or whatever the fuck, whatever, when you do end up hating me. But otherwise, you know, as you can see behind me, I'm working on setting up the game room. You know, of course, Comic Concepts is a passion project, but the other side to that, I really want to get back into Twitch streaming. I was really into that before anesthesia when I had a little more time. And so I'm working on getting that going. I'm also going to be doing statue reviews and whatever collectibles I have. I'm very excited to try that out. Whether it works out or not is whatever. I'm just going to do it for fun. But otherwise, you know, going to continue to make improvements to Comic Concepts at the site. If you guys have any suggestions or constructive criticism, I'm truly always open to it. But yeah, nothing insane. Still the best deals on the market. You know, just good stuff.
All that good stuff, dude. Well, guys, check out Comic Concepts again. I got my code there, WillFox. You know, it's a great code. It's unlimited usage, Josh told me.
Unlimited usage, dude. Yeah. Anytime you ever order, use your boy's code. That's savings.
Right.
Every order.
$10 every order. And again, no sales tax, Josh, unless you live in Georgia, right?
Unless you live in Georgia or California for now, there's no sales tax. We only charge shipping based on the U.S. location. So if you order Prime 1 with us, you're not going to pay overseas. And then a 5% back loyalty program on every single purchase. Like it seriously, guys, it's like legit. Yeah. Like I know I'm plugging myself, but like all the figures are double boxed for free. They come with a free comic based on the genre of figure, which is fun for me.
Dinesh, by the way, thank you so much, Dinesh, for being a channel member.
I have seen
Cosmic
so
Concepts.
many people say Cosmic Concepts.
I know, bro.
I'm just gonna rage and eat a lot of chocolate after this.
Nick said the same thing. If you rename to Cosmic, I will buy from you. Josh is not willing to sell his dignity for that. Josh's not willing to sell his dignity for that. But guys, thank you so much for joining. I posted the InArt Pennywise review last night, so check that out if you're not already. I'm going to try to get the, I'm about to review the Game Toys Cloud Strife from Advent Children. That's next on the list. I'm trying to get that done. And then the Lim Toys 1/12 Last of Us Joel and Ellie figures. I'm going to be reviewing those. And Cloud comes with the bike, so I'll be reviewing that as well. So be on the lookout. That'll be in the future. Guys, check out Keco Collects, amazing channel. Check out Comic Concepts, amazing shop. Lots of great stuff. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream and, of course, contributing, as always, voting in the polls. I'm posting polls in the community tab. I'm trying to post one every day. Lots of shorts, stuff like that. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for joining. And check out these guys. Check out this channel and subscribe. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. Like the button, click the like button rather down below. And have a good weekend. Anyway, there's the outro. Okay, there's the intro and outro. Anyway, peace out.